Hello and welcome to another video and the beginnings of Mellis Junction. The other board is here. I've done some wiring already. It's going to be good. So here we have the two boards for Mellis Junction, and there, as you can see, I've got rid of the old layout and they're now sitting on top of the desks there. Although it doesn't quite look like I've done much progress since the last video, which was about a year ago. But trust me, I have. So, as you can see, I've put the cork down, obviously. You see that in that one. I've also laid the track and wired underneath, so you'll see more of that later. And if you remember in the last video, I showed you the plans for the signal box. They're now slightly more crumpled. And I have built the signal box. I'll show you that later again. Yeah. And I may have also shown you the plans for the station building. I'm not sure if I had them done by then, but I have also built that. So that's two of the buildings for Mellis, and I'll show you where they go soon. Perhaps in this video or perhaps in another video. So this is Mellis Junction Signal Box. The real thing was built in around 1883 and it was demolished in the mid-1990s. It remained in service until 1986. It's quite a large structure, especially compared to the other buildings of the station. Oh, I just knocked over the cable there. I'm just going to pan round. This was completed about half a year ago, so it's starting to show some signs of age. And it had a little sighting mirror there to give a good view of the crossing, which will be in that board. The actual signal box goes about there. And then those boards obviously connect together. You can see where it goes in relation to everything else. Now we move on to the station building. This building was also built in around 1883 and it was designed by Frederick Barnes. It's also a very impressive building. And this was demolished in about 1975. Both the buildings are made from plastic or foam board base with brick texture paper glued on top. Going a bit closer, you can just about see that. And I think it looks quite effective, and it's also very easy to work with. Just on the little desk there, which has moved since the last time. Keep stepping on things. It's a bit of a mess in here. In terms of stock for the layout, I have had a bit of an update. There's a bit more stuff now that's related to the branch line, obviously. So last time we had J15 British Rail. It's a very nice loco, still works very well. But now we move on to the new arrivals. So an IVAT 4MT. They mainly worked in Norfolk, but would have probably been seen in Suffolk as well. They're fairly standard engines. And that works very nicely. Bought it for about 50 quid. And it's DCC fitted already. They're both DCC, obviously. You have the Hornby Railroad teak coach. I think I might need to do a bit of work on that because it still says LNER on the side. And obviously my layout is British Rail. A bit later than that. Set in around 1956. Then you have Hornby and our Suburban teak coach. This one I've had for quite a while. I've got a few more of these, but this is one of them. Be our Maroon and Mark 1. And we've got some private owner wagons. Standard brake van. More wagons. The light's not great over here. These are just being stored on the shelf for a short period of time. I'm not planning to keep them here much longer. A nice little wagon there with some coal put in it. Yeah, and then another brake van. But there is a few more. I've got the Toady brake van in the other room. So you might be wondering why this board is off there. Normally it is on there. You can see where the old layout was. Cape to the south, just sat there. Both boards normally sit next to each other on there. That one, I haven't got the track on it. The track is down there. And there will be more track. This is just the centre line that runs through the middle. So yeah, so this board has been taken out so that I can work on the electrics. So I'm just going to go underneath. Don't know what the light's going to be like under here. There you can see that. I'm going to show you how to do this properly with the next board when I actually do it. But you can see we've got a red and black dropper wire coming down from each rail. If we go back up, they come down from various places in the rails and then join up with the main bus wire that runs the length of the layout. Fingers in there, and they're just joined with little splice connectors. But I will show you all that if you don't understand, with hopefully a time lapse of the next board being done. Okay, so I'm ready to start wiring on this board now. The other board has been moved over. I'm going to do this board. So the first stage is to solder the dropper wires onto the track. And I've got a red and a black one. And the black one's going to go on that rail. And the red one's going to go on that rail. And then they're going to feed under, like in the other one, and connect to a big bus wire. It's going to go all the way along. And then those two are going to join up. The two boards are going to join up. First, I need to solder the connections. So I've turned this track over to make it easier. And I've got all my equipment. So the main equipment here, we've got a soldering iron, which is just heating up. Tip cleaner. Open that. Flux. I'll show you using that soon. And then we have solder. There we go, there's some solder. I've also got a mask as well, just to protect my breathing. Okay, so I'm ready to solder now. Got all the kit I need. So I've got tip cleaner there for afterwards. It's basically wire wool. Obviously the soldering iron, which is just heated up on this little stand. Flux, and that is in a sort of waxy form. You can't really see because of the light, but yeah. And the flux just helps the solder flow a bit better when I join it. You'll see that. And then we got the two wires, a red and a black. The black one, they're going to go just like that. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is tin the soldering iron. So just dip it in a flux and it just melts through. And then solder goes in there just to get a bit of that wax on the end of the solder. So there's a bit of wax on there, you can see. Now I'm going to wire it so that they go in. So as you can see, the black wire is facing inwards, and you'll see why I do that in a minute. And then just tap it so I get a bit of solder on the iron. stuck. And then I repeat this with the red wire. Sorry, it's a bit difficult to see. Get you another angle soon. Tin the soldering iron again in the wax. Touch the two together. Get a bit of solder on the iron. And just push it in. Now I'm going to get on with the other ones, and I'll do that in a time lapse to speed it up a bit. So that's each connection point soldered now. And the more observant of you might have noticed that I did that one the wrong way round, but I've turned that round now. And over here, you can see why. Focus. You can see it's a bit melted there. That's what happens if the soldering iron touches the other wire. Other than that, I think it went okay. Now I'm going to turn the track over and get drilling. So I've now drilled this part. I've marked where I'm going to drill the next bit, and these dropper wires feed through this hole. I've also drilled a little hole here to run the main bus wire underneath. Where's that go? That goes down there, but that will connect up to these dropper wires. Now I'm about to do some more there. Right, so now the wires have been fed through from the top. There's 4 dropper wires. I've got the black ones that would obviously join up to the black wire, and the red ones connected up to the red wire. So now I'm going to use these splicing things to connect all the wires up. So I've finished that now. I've wired it all up. I've plugged it into a one we select. I've put my 4MT on there to test it. So off we go. So as you can now see, I've put both of the boards together back where they should be, and I've also started ballasting this section of track. I've glued it all down. You can see there where the electrical points go underneath, and it's all worked fairly well. I've had to make a few modifications, but it's now working. So I'll attach some running shots to the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.